Hi folks, Paul Gruhn here. This will be a different video, Tale of Three Guitars. Why am I doing this one? A number of people over time have commented about one of my guitars, particularly the one on the far side over there. In order to explain that one, I'll really need to cover two other guitars that are also unusual themselves. One is the far one over there, and then the one closest on this side. So let's start. This is a Guild, a relatively common model. I can't actually see my video. Oh well. So the body style is a standard for Guild, which was actually copied from Gibson. And like most acoustics, there's a couple of rather standard features. The neck clears 12 frets. I'm sorry, 14. 12 or 14 is the most common. There's a total of 20 frets. The back is slightly arched, very, very slightly. If you were to, and it's a beautiful curly maple wood as well. If you laid this surface flat on a table, this other portion is going to be about 3/8 of an inch. And the top is essentially flat, as most acoustics are. I mean, if you lay this area flat, this portion's up hardly at all. So that's a relatively standard guitar. But what this guitar is actually completely redesigned by my brother George. I mean, it says co-designed by George Gruhn. Well, what did he do different? Well, the headstock is a different shape. The neck contour is a different shape. The neck inlay is different. The pickguard is different. The sound hole rosette is different. The Ivoroid binding is different. And the internal scallop bracing is different. And if you were to hold this up to a similar model Guild, this one's quite lighter. So a bit unusual, and something designed by my brother that he was hoping would be a better quality than their standard model. Then we come to the Tacoma Chief, which is quite unusual. Actually, if I can get something else showing here so I can actually see what you're seeing a little bit better. So it's a relatively standard shape, really nothing unusual about that. Sound hole is obviously quite different. And I can't see with that right now. Anyway, so this is a Tacoma Chief. Couple of things. The back is completely flat. There really is no noticeable bow at all. And the top is also flat. There's no noticeable bow. The sound hole is not a round thing in the middle. Why is that? Well, the bracing of this guitar is totally different. There's two longitudinal braces which make it more like an arch top. It's obviously not an arch top, and it's stronger bracing actually that way. The sound hole provides a larger surface area, because on this guitar the whole top is intended to vibrate, whereas most guitars just really vibrate around the area that's called the saddle. Also kind of makes a convenient carrying hold. One thing different is the neck clears 15 frets. I'm not aware of any other guitar like that, and there's a total of 22 frets, which is more like you'd find on an electric. 2 more frets than common. The neck is a bolt-on neck with 2 large furniture bolts, so it makes doing a neck reset a lot easier. And the neck, or the fretboard, lies on the neck, which is not really part of the top of the guitar. Because the top is flat, obviously the neck is fairly close to, or just a low height above, the body. So those are some of the main things that come to mind. Also, there's no bridge pins here either. They're not necessary. Then we come to the unusual one. This guitar is luthier made, a private guy by the name of Kip Crusa, who started his company in Tennessee in 2003. It would appear he's no longer in business. The website doesn't connect to anything anymore. There's a LinkedIn profile that he has. It doesn't appear to be active. And there's a Facebook group, but it doesn't have anything posted since 2016. Now, some of the most unusual things about this is the back. It's hard to tell really here, but the back is arched. There's really no flat area, but if you lay this area flat on a table, this ends up a whole inch. So that's a bit unusual. And the top is arched as well. If this area is down on a flat surface, this area is raised up about 3/4 of an inch. It's arched. Because of that, you'll notice the neck or the fretboard is raised off quite a bit from the neck, which is quite unusual. Obviously, it's an unusual sort of shape of how the neck ends. It clears 14 frets, goes up to 21 there at the top, but it's raised up quite a bit. Notice the sound hole. It's not just a rosette pattern around it. It's actually a carved wooden piece. I got this guitar probably around 15 years ago because my brother George prides himself that when he hears somebody play, he knows the right guitar for them. So he goes into a shop, he grabs a guitar, comes back and says, "Here, play this." So I needed another guitar at the time, like a hole in the head, but I already have plenty, and there's other on the walls here. But I played it and I was like, "Oh, that's a keeper." I'm a sucker. But that's it. Some people think it's a gypsy jazz guitar when they see this different kind of hole. Most people, certainly in the videos and such, aren't going to really see some of the other unusual features. Again, unfortunately, the Crusa does not appear to be in business, but you can find some photos and things online. He's got some other quite unusual looking guitars. So that's it. I hope some of my guitar friends found that interesting. We'll see you next time.